What if I told you the best advice that you will ever hear about overcoming setbacks has nothing to do with willpower, motivation, or some quick fix? Because here's the truth. Setbacks happen to all of us, even when you're doing everything right, even when you've already made massive progress. And right now, I'm in one myself. Yep, I have been in a plateau for months. But the way I've handled it this time is completely different from the old me. And that shift, that's the best advice that I will ever give you on overcoming setbacks. So stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll not only see your setbacks differently, you'll actually know how to use them to keep moving forward. So here's the deal. I've lost 200 pounds. I have changed my life with food freedom, with mindset, and with healthy habits. But right now, I have hit a plateau. A very irritating plateau. The scale has not moved. My body feels like it's holding on to everything and just not letting go. And honestly, it is so frustrating. The old me would have quit, would have spiraled. I would have said, see, not working. I'm never going to get there. This is never going to work. Then I would binge, quit, and gain it all back. Now, in honesty, because I am an honest person, I did gain some weight back when all of this started. But it was from a medication, and a few weeks after coming off of it, I lost all of those pounds. However, my weight has not moved since then. Maybe I'm going to say up or down a few ounces, but you know what that is? It's normal water weight and fluctuation. But this time, I am handling this differently. And that's what I want to share with you today. Here's the thing about setbacks. Whether it's a plateau, a bad week, or even slipping back into old habits, they make you feel stuck. Like all of your work is for nothing. Like maybe you should just give up. And that's exactly why most people will never reach their goals. It's not because they never had progress. It's because they didn't know how to handle those setbacks when they came. But what if setbacks weren't the end of the road? What if they were just a part of the process? That's the gold here. It is all just a part of the process. So here's the best advice that I'm ever going to give you on overcoming setbacks. Don't treat them like failure. Treat them like feedback. That is one thing that will really change things. So number one, plateaus are not punishment. They are feedback. When that scale stops moving, even if it goes up a little, it's not your body betraying you. It's just data. It's saying, hey, something needs to be adjusted. Sometimes it's food. Sometimes it's stress. Sometimes it's sleep. Sometimes your body just needs to catch up to the changes that you've already made. It's not punishment. It's feedback. 2, setbacks are proof that you're in the game. Think about it. The only people who never hit a plateau are the ones who never even started. So, if you're facing a setback right now, congratulations. It means you're doing something. You're moving forward. You're in the game. Number 3, progress isn't always measured by the scale. This one took me forever to learn. Plateaus force us to notice other wins. Your energy is better. Your sleep is deeper. Your cravings are a lot calmer. You're consistent even when things get boring. Those, my friends, are wins. And if you only look at the scale, you're going to miss them. And then you might quit when you're actually winning. So, let me tell you how I'm handling my plateau right now. Step 1, I stopped panicking. No more panic. The old me would have thought this isn't working, but now I had to remind myself it's feedback, just feedback. Step 2, I checked my anchors. Am I eating my big salads? Am I drinking my water? Enough water? Am I moving daily? Am I sleeping enough? Because usually the basics slip before we even notice. So while I normally don't track my food intake, I did when I hit this plateau to make sure there was nothing that I was missing. Now, I did figure out that I was going a little heavy on my nut consumption and that I was eating a little rich. I also noted that I had to get coconut sugar instead of my usual date sugar because they were out of date sugar. And I believe that the coconut sugar might have triggered me to eat more than I normally do. And we all know that if we are not eating in a calorie deficit, well, then the scale's not going to move. It just takes overshooting a little bit in order to be off in that. I also started tracking my sleep. I noticed that I was more tired and I had a hard time falling asleep. And at first, I attributed it to being sick and taking medicine, but I don't think that was it. I was staying up later than I normally do, and sometimes working up until bedtime. So I was breaking my rule on screens and staying up later and not giving myself my normal wind down time. This interrupted my sleep, and it made it harder to fall asleep and sleep more soundly. That left me waking up more tired, so I had less energy to do the things that I needed to do during the day. Now, I am also dealing with an injury. Yep, I know. When it rains, it pours. This has restricted the movement that I can do. So that's something that I have to factor into all this as well. Last, I checked with my doctor. That's what I did too. I talked to my doctor. She ran all sorts of tests. Good news, guys. Blood work came back great. Nothing is going on with that. I'm not low on anything. And in fact, good news, my liver test showed some really good improvement, which is amazing. All the heart tests were great. The lung tests were perfect. No infections. So all really great news. I feel very grateful. But she did notice some swelling in my neck and my face. And she did more tests there. There's no nodules, no tumors, anything that needs to be biopsied or looked at. I am eternally grateful for that. But she does believe that I'm having some lymphatic issues here. Now, I haven't talked a lot about this. I'm thinking about doing a video talking about my weight gain. But I do have major lymphedema in my stomach. And I do see a therapist for that. So off I go to see her for my neck and face. I am the one who always ends up with things in odd places. I feel most people get lymphedema in their arms and legs. Me, I end up with it in my stomach, in my neck, and my face. That's just how I roll, I guess. So, that's where I am right now. I'm not sure the lymphatic issues that I'm dealing with are what's not causing the scale to move, but I think the stress from worrying about why the scale isn't moving and maybe the high nut rich food, lack of sleep, isn't helping. So I made the adjustments for the food. I got rid of the coconut sugar. It always takes things for me a little while to settle out before I start seeing progress again. So I'm not upset. My body's just like that. So we will wait and see if any of what I've done helps out in the coming weeks. Step 3. I gave myself credit. Even without the scale moving, I'm showing up. I am showing up consistently. I am doing the work, even though I am seeing no benefits from it now. That is success. That is how you overcome a setback. Not by throwing everything away, but by leaning in and learning from it. And if you're in a setback right now, here's your game plan. Pause and don't panic. Don't panic just because you're experiencing a setback. It doesn't mean you failed. Just take a breath. Look for feedback and check your food, your water, your sleep, your stress. Go to the doctor. Look at everything and think outside the box. Celebrate those other wins and look beyond the scale. Look at your energy and your mood and your consistency, because those matter. That includes the fact that you aren't quitting, by the way. You are showing up for yourself every single day, and that is amazing. You guys are amazing. Adjust, don't abandon. Make one small tweak, not a total overhaul. I may have done a little too much in my own little overhaul plan. But do this step by step until you find what it is that's kind of going awry, and make those necessary changes to move the needle. Keep showing up, because setbacks, they don't last forever, but quitting will make them permanent. Understand it might take some time, but that's okay. It's going to change. And here's the big picture. Setbacks aren't a sign you can't do it. They're the training ground that proves you can. Every time you face a plateau, every time you stumble, every time you want to quit but don't, you're building resilience. And resilience is what gets you to your goals. Not motivation, not quick fixes. Resilience. And honestly, this is exactly what we're going to be working on inside, or this is exactly what we're working on inside of my program, Finish Strong and Start Strong. If you're in there, you guys know. We push through setbacks, and we keep the momentum and stop going and stop the cycle of giving up and starting over. So, anyway, I want you to know, if you're just at a starting point, don't forget, grab my free guide, the 5-step roadmap to food freedom. It's simple, it's practical, and it will give you the exact steps I used to stop spiraling when things didn't go perfectly. The link is in the description box below. So here's what I want you to hear. You are not failing just because you were in a setback. You are not broken. You are not hopeless. And you are not alone. We all go through this process. This is just part of the journey. And the people who succeed aren't the ones who never hit those setbacks. They're the ones who keep going through them. So keep going. Keep showing up. Because your breakthrough is always on the other side of your setback. I, for one, am proud that I am showing up every day. And I am also so excited to see my breakthrough on the other side of this plateau. It is going to be amazing. All right, now I want to hear from you. Drop a comment and tell me, what's the hardest setback that you've ever faced? And how did you push through it? Or, if you're in one right now, what's one thing you're going to do this week to keep showing up? Because remember, setbacks don't define you. How you respond to them does. And if you stick with it, if you treat setbacks like feedback instead of failure, you're going to get there. I promise. And until our next conversation, stay kind to yourself, eat like you love yourself, and keep going. You are doing better than you think. Bye for now.